going on? My name is Ramsey Said What from What's the Movement's A-Side B-Side podcast. This is Behind the Brand by the Commission. I'm here with Arsonist from one half of Heatmakerz. Well,
just Heatmakerz.
Heatmakerz.
I
okay.
am. You're looking at Heatmakerz.
Alrighty. So what happened to Thriller and Weatherman?
Weatherman is my cousin. Weatherman never made beats. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Thriller just, life. Like you just, I guess.
Nah, I feel that.
I guess my passion for the music just, and it's no shade to him. It's just my passion for the music led me through the down periods.
Word.
Or held me up through the down periods. I never really lost faith in music.
Okay.
You know?
I did my research.
Yeah.
So you're from Jamaica, moved to Bronx.
From Mandeville, Jamaica.
So how'd you come up with the whole idea of Heatmakerz? I know you DJ'd Howard for a bit.
Yeah.
So
it was more so at the time I had a daughter on the way and I didn't really know how I was gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? Not saying like I couldn't have got a job, but it was just I didn't know how I was gonna support her. In my head I was thinking more of career than I was trying to get by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So making music to me just seemed like, especially when I found out what producers make back then out the gate if they got established. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in my head I knew that when I love something and I set my mind towards it, I've never really failed at anything like that. So I kind of bet on myself and we doing this interview now.
I feel you, man.
You know?
So you DJ, like do you still DJ?
Depends, like specialty events. You know what I'm saying? Like last time I DJ'd was probably like over a year ago in China.
Word? That's what's up.
I did like a festival in China in Chengdu, if I'm pronouncing it right.
So, Terry, how did he come about? Like, how did that whole interaction even happen? Because that changed everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it was gonna change everything, but it did. It's like I met Todd on the Humble. A friend of mine had worked at Priority Records at the time, and I used to always go by his office to playing beats. That's when I first started, and he was like, "Yo, I'm going to my man Todd's house. You should come with me. He fucks with music." And I'm like, at the time I didn't know who Todd Terry was, so I'm like, alright, cool. We go by his crib. He was like, "Yo, I heard you make beats. Let me hear some beats." And I just happened to have 2 beats that was trash, probably, but because I just started, I played him the beats. He loved them. Paid me over $1,000 for each, which is unheard of. You know what I'm saying? For beats that sounded terrible like that. Then he was like, "Yo, I need more," and I told him I didn't have equipment because I was using my man's equipment, and he bought me like a shitload of equipment, like upwards of like $20,000-$30,000.
That's crazy. You were still living in the Bronx at the time?
I was in my mother's basement at the time.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Well, actually, I was in my mother's basement at the time. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
How'd you get up with Jones and Dipset and everybody, man?
At the time, me and a couple homeboys, this is when me, Thriller, and another friend of mine were running around with Heatmakerz. We got a CD to a dude by the name of Renee McLean. Renee McLean was managing Cam at the time, but we didn't know. We went to Renee McLean for something else, and he was like, "What do you guys do?" And I said, "Yo, I produce, da-da-da-da-da."
Yeah.
And again, I had a beat CD on me, always kept beats on me. I had a beat CD with like 20 beats on there.
Yeah.
Gave it to him, he gave it to Cam. Long story short, 9 of those beats out of the 20 ended up on Diplomatic Immunity.
Yeah.
And then we did an extra 2 and he was off to the races. But we met Cam. We actually had records with Cam before he knew us because somebody else had taken our beats, and I won't even waste time in saying who it is, but somebody else had taken our beats, shopped into Cam, put his name on it.
Wow.
And it's a long story, but yeah.
But I mean, like it happened the way it was supposed to, I guess, because you still got to Cam. You know what I'm saying?
1,000,000%.
I'm 27.
Right.
You've made the music that people my age came up to. Like that was middle school, high school for us.
With 27 seemed, because I'm 41 now while we doing this interview. I'm 41, and to me it's like that's even dope to know that somebody 27 still is in that wave. You know what I'm saying? Like that still understands what that music did to a generation.
Yeah, no, that's
you know what I'm saying. And I think now it's just a more like El Capo's a more mature version of what I used to give you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can listen to El Capo and it's not a lot of play around songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's good feeling music, but it's serious music with topics and song structure, and it's about something. And every record is about something in it's just a different part of his life that he's breaking down for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with different backdrops and different moods and different tempos, and But I just think that it's a mature version of what you know from the Heatmakerz.
No, definitely. It's like I've heard critics saying like, man, like this is some of the best music they've made. Like
album of the year, man. I'll be the first to say it. Nobody want to say it, I'm gonna say it. And we can open the floor for debate, man. And I'll tell you why. You know what I mean? If somebody could give me a reason for another album that came out this year, I could give you 2 reasons why El Capo should be. And maybe it won't be nominated because of it didn't have the commercial success of other albums. But if you listen to albums for cohesiveness, if you listen to albums for the feel, if you listen to albums just for overall great music, you can't tell me this album isn't one of those. I've listened to hundreds of albums. I'm like, I make music. I have to listen to different music. So I know what feels good and what feels great.
I want to ask this. What is like your fondest first music memory as like a kid?
As a kid? As a kid, I'm Jamaican, man, so I grew up listening to my mother listening to David Levy on the radio and you know, Barris and Garnet Silk and Sanchez, and so that's my childhood memory of music is like reggae music, you know what I mean? Not the reggae music you know now, like the up tempo party reggae. I mean like the vibe, like Bob Marley and you know what I'm saying, that type of shit. Like, so the thing that I got from that music is they was feeling in that music. So when I make my shit, I try to make it with some sort of feeling, man. Like I just look at it like nowadays we don't buy physical copies of anything anymore. I mean, you do, but you have to search.
It's hard to find,
So what does that tell you? When you buy something, you can't hold on to it no more and read the credits and do all of that shit. It's just a download.
I miss those days.
Right, so you listen to the song now strictly for the feeling. That's it. If the song doesn't give you a feeling, then what did you really pay for? Because you didn't get any product. Right? So with that being said, if you make music with no feeling, what are you selling to people? You selling them air, you selling them noise.
You selling them microwave food.
Noise, you selling them straight noise. If that shit don't give you a feeling, it's straight noise. So while people are worried about, is this in key, is this out of key, is this timing perfect, fuck all of that. Does it make you feel like something? Like even the records that we hate made us feel hate. That's still a feeling.
That's a perspective.
Of course. In the music industry, it's worse for somebody to feel indifferent about your music than to love it or hate it. Because when they feel indifferent, they don't really give 2 shits either way. When they hate it, they tell other people how much they hate it. When they love it, they tell other people how much they love it. Right? So you just have to give them a feeling. Give them something to feel a way about. And you keep doing that, and that's when you build up a legacy. You understand? Like, so to me, that's what I'm trying to do. I just want to, every time out the gate, I want to give you something that makes you feel a way.
Another thing, word on the street is the Dipset Anthem almost didn't happen. So. Oh
yeah, my cousin said that. Weatherman.
You got to tell that story, man.
Well, back then I used to make like 5 beats a day minimum. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dipset Anthem might have been like my 5th beat for the day, and I heard it and I'm like, yo, it sounds good, but I was wondering if I made so many that I'm thinking everything sounds good. So my cousin walks in and he was like, what the fuck is that? That shit is crazy. I'm like, yo, you like that? So I was about to trash this shit. He was like, yo, you're bugging. This shit is crazy.
The Sanchez sample.
Yeah, and there it is.
That's crazy.
So had he fucking caught a stoplight or something, Dipset Anthem probably wouldn't have been around if he'd have caught an extra stoplight on his way to my house. Because it was that close for me pressing the power button, shutting that shit down without saving it.
Nothing like that ever happened for any of your other hits. Like,
no. After that, I don't really get rid of shit like that.
Cause like you got the sickest samples, man. Like the Mr. Postman.
But I also want to say too, and this, I'm not trying to sound anyway, because a lot of people write that to me on the gram and shit like that. Like, yo, you find the best samples. I don't really find the best samples. It's what I turn it into that you like.
Okay.
You understand? Like, I don't want people to confuse it. Like the sample is what's making the shit hot all of the time. Sometimes it is, but it's how you manipulate that sample. Because sometimes you can have it at the wrong tone and it don't have the same feeling. So it's little shit, man, that I don't want people to think like, yo, if I find the samples he find, I'll do the same shit. No, you won't.
My last question is there any advice like you would want to give somebody like about branding? Because Heatmakerz, like, you hear that's that's so important to people like our age, like about branding or like building a brand from scratch?
I think is whatever you're creating the brand for, make sure that the product is good.
Yeah.
Before you like the product builds the brand, and after the brand gets to a certain point, then maybe you can say vice versa, right?
Yeah.
But the product has to be good enough for the brand to mean something. Because if you just come out the gate with a brand and it's not backed by a good product, the brand is gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people put the carriage before the horse sometimes, and they kind of think about the wrong things at the wrong time, when the right thing to think about is how am I gonna perfect my craft?
Yeah.
Once you do that, branding will kind of just fall into your lap. When you're good at something, people want to know what that is.
Yeah.
So my advice would be just perfect it. Whatever the product is, perfect the product first.
I feel that. So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, I'm good, man. I just, thank anybody that's watching. Look out for projects coming. Cameron Program 2. I'm working on another project, Jimmy and the Heatmakerz. Remy Ma's album. Fred the Godson, Joel Ortiz, Gorilla Glue Part 2. Fred the Godson, God Level, coming out in November. Just did an album with Joel Ortiz that came out like last month called Monday. I did 3 records on there. So a record with Macy Gray, Sheila E. I got coming out. Bunch of shit, man. If I forgot anybody, it is what it is. But yeah, a record on Mano's new project. Check that out. That's dope too. Yeah, so that's it, man. All love.
Arsonist, thank you for meeting me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
Shout out to the commission. This is the beginning. I hope you guys enjoy.